Weaver's been compromised. Expect the base to be an elevated alert. Hold your position. We are inbound.
At this point, there's no denying that the Call of Duty franchise is the 800-pound gorilla of the video game industry. Taking a huge chunk out of the pie year in and year out, it's loathed by competing publishers but embraced by players for supplying near-limitless replay value. The series typically alternates between developers from one year to the next, and it's Treyarch's turn to deliver the goods with Call of Duty Black Ops. Is it a full-out assault, or should it be classified as a secret mission?
Mason!
Woods, you look like hammered shit.
Some kind for shit in the jungle. It's not, baby.
It's good to see you.
Yeah, you too.
Set in the 60s during the Vietnam War, Black Ops begins in an interrogation room. You're Captain Mason Alex, and for reasons unknown, you've been brought to this place to try and explain a set of numbers to your captors. The problem is, you have no idea what the numbers mean.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The numbers, Mason. What do they mean? Where were they
I
broadcast
don't know
from?
anything about any numbers.
What follows is a trip down memory lane where each remembrance is played out on the battlefield. Clues are divulged, and as the game wears on, it becomes less of an interrogation and more of a collaboration. You'll travel to Russia, Cuba, Vietnam, and just about every territory in between.
All clear, moving up!
Eventually, the story veers towards a struggle over a deadly biochemical weapon called Nova 6. It may sound like a club drug, but it's a one-way ticket to the death disco. By then, you've played so many different soldiers that following the plot requires some serious mental yoga. Probably formidable on paper. In practice, it leaves you not liking the protagonists enough and not hating the antagonists enough. Though bolstered by its fairly clever premise, by its conclusion, the story loses a lot of steam.
Squad 50, we're hit! We're hit!
Look out!
Lima Diner, we are going down!
The general design of Black Ops maintains the blueprint. Follow the linear path laid out by comrades and enemies and lay waste to everything in your path. The devil is in the details. With dozens of these types of games on the market, we thought we'd seen it all, but there are some wrinkles. One mission is you commanding your team from the air and then heading down to the ground to help execute. Another has you in a hazmat suit, effectively replacing the rebounding health meter with a cracking face shield. There's also a section where you have to attack from beneath the water's surface. Piloting an attack helicopter down a river or a boat in dangerous waters, it all adds up to a campaign that'll keep you on your toes. Though not for long. You can easily polish it off in 6 to 8 hours, and the lack of a co-op campaign is surprising since Treyarch's last game included it. Of course, that's when the robust and diverse multiplayer comes calling. Leveling up has completely changed. You gain levels much more quickly, but that's because most of the unlocks are not tied to it. While you still collect points for just about everything you do, you then spend these points to unlock what you choose. Essentially, you can use your desired loadout almost immediately. The same goes for the kill streak rewards. Adding another layer of depth, you can challenge yourself by purchasing contracts that ask you to satisfy specific conditions in a match. Just to get the obvious out of the way, you can play all your favorites like Domination, Capture the Flag, Demolition, Deathmatch, etc. in 14 brand new maps. Most of the arenas are claustrophobic and manifest plenty of close-quarters confrontations. Nuketown stands out the most with its mannequin decoys, but there isn't a single map we didn't enjoy. If you find some you don't like, you can always vote against them in the pre-game lobby. Up to 18 players can throw down in ground war, while 4 players can stand together and hold the fort in the Nazi zombie mode. While these staples remain well executed, the additions really stand out the most.
Who's your president now, stale skin?
Wager mode is the crown jewel. These free-for-all options for up to 6 players allow you to place a bet that you'll finish in the top 3 when the dust settles. Finish in the bottom 3, and you forfeit your bet. There are just 4 match types, but they're all great in their own way. Sticks and Stones arms players with a knife, a tomahawk, and a crossbow with exploding arrows. The catch is that if someone kills you with the tomahawk, you immediately lose all your kills. Gun Game has a predetermined ladder of weapons. Get a kill with the gun and you move on to a newer, more powerful one. Get killed by a melee, and you drop down to the prior gun. It's easy to end up with a weaker gun than your foes, but overcoming the odds can provide a nice sense of accomplishment. Sharpshooter randomly cycles through weapons at specific time intervals, and One in the Chamber, the weakest of the lot, gives you 3 lives, 1 bullet in a handgun, and a knife. With each kill, you're given another bullet, but you have to be prudent with squeezing them off. What's great about Wager Mode is that it forces you to use and master the entire arsenal. Don't be surprised if it convinces you to alter your loadout in the more standard options. The biggest surprise is the hidden Black Ops Arcade. While you can play the full version of Zork, the real winner is a 4-player cooperative top-down shooter called DOA. A distant cousin of Smash TV, you have to survive wave after wave of zombie attacks while collecting cash and powering up your weapons. It's a full-fledged game that you normally pay at least $10 to download, but in Black Ops, it's just a fun extra. There's so much content to explore in Black Ops that we can't even go into detail on the theater mode or combat training, which prepares you for the rigors of online play. The disc is literally burned to the hilt with content.
Spy plane standing by.
Out on the battlefield, attention spans need not apply. The campaign jumps you from gunner to foot soldier to pilot and back again every 15 minutes or so. It's like Whiplash in video game form. Piloting vehicles is user-friendly no matter the mode of transportation, and cheap QuickTime events are kept mostly at bay. The shooting controls haven't changed much. The over 40 weapons look, sound, and fire realistically. Some have to be used in bursts, and others fire much better from the hip or in sustained bullet storms. The recoil is subdued, and wind and distance have little effect, but you'll find plenty of armaments to snuggle up next to. It's business as usual with the auto-aim, but you do have the option to turn it off. Even though the game is set in the 60s, Treyarch has done a great job of making sure the technology doesn't feel dated. Weapons like flamethrowers and first-person rockets keep it up to speed, while upgrades like dragon shells for the shotgun give it a kick. Perks have received the most massaging, taking note of a lot of exploits from Modern Warfare 2 and making needed adjustments. You can no longer quickscope with the sniper rifle using sleight of hand, and balanced squashers like stopping power and one-man army have been completely excised. The campaign does a great job of preparing you for online battle as you get used to most of the features. The Immortal Team AI gets the job done from both a scripting and combat perspective, though once again you have no control over what they do or where they go. And while vehicles are a huge part of the campaign, they're still MIA in the multiplayer.
Take out those damn RPGs!
The gameplay in Black Ops is unquestionably tight, user-friendly, and varied, though it can feel like you're just running from one slightly interactive event to the next at times.
Go, 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 go!
Online, it addresses most of the balancing complaints, culminating in a game that's more about skill and less about gaming the system. With no radical changes to the formula, it plays it safe, and most of the adjustments will be felt more by fans than armchair generals.
They have our flag. Our flag has been returned.
This way!
A lot of graphics engines start to show their age after a few years, but Call of Duty Black Ops is still a stunner. Sure, the texturing and effects are high class, but it's the little details that you discover as you play that will have you cracking a smile. Some scenes feature so many enemies on screen that you can't help but be taken aback. While it's an absolutely brutal game full of extremely graphic gore, there's nothing that pushes the envelope quite like the airport scene from Modern Warfare 2. Instead, you get shocking in-game appearances from historical icons. The game is bolstered by pre-rendered FMV sequences that are essentially the video equivalent of a seizure. The soundtrack is comprised of a combination of full-blown orchestral compositions and licensed songs that were right at home during the Summer of Love. The voice acting and writing are strong and include some celebrity spot duty from icons like Ice Cube.
Fuck you, Charlie!
When it's all taken as a whole, Black Ops is one great-looking and sounding game. Call of Duty Black Ops spends a little too much time in the bunker playing it safe, but it's a robust, quality product from top to bottom. The campaign is brief but memorable, and the multiplayer has taken millions of hours of real-world testing to heart. The total amount of worthwhile content makes paying full price for most other games feel like a crime. Treyarch has closed the gap between its games and the Modern Warfare franchise with boundless customization, a keen sense of what makes the formula a success, and listening to fans. You won't regret answering the call once again.